Think you know everything about Cabinets of Curiosities? Those mysterious rooms filled with fossils, relics, strange creatures, and objects from distant lands. Well, today we're putting that knowledge to the test. This is a 10-question fact or fiction challenge. I'll give you a statement. You decide, is it fact or fiction? Keep track of your score. No Googling. Let's begin. Question 1. Cabinets of Curiosities were the earliest form of museums. Fact. Cabinets of Curiosities were essentially the precursors to modern museums. During the 16th and 17th centuries, wealthy collectors and scholars assembled rooms filled with rare and fascinating objects. These collections often included fossils, taxidermy animals, ancient coins, scientific instruments, exotic artifacts from global expeditions. Over time, many of these private collections evolved into public institutions. In fact, parts of museums like the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, founded in 1683, grew directly from Cabinet of Curiosities collections. So yes, the museum concept started with collectors showing off their strange discoveries. Question 2. Cabinets of Curiosities were always stored inside actual cabinets. Fiction. Despite the name, most Cabinets of Curiosities were entire rooms, not cabinets. Some wealthy collectors filled multiple rooms or even entire wings of their homes. Shelves were packed with artifacts. Objects hung from ceilings. Drawers overflowed with strange specimens. The term cabinet originally referred to a private study or collection space, not furniture. So the reality was far bigger and often far more chaotic than a simple cabinet. Question 3. Many Cabinets of Curiosities collections included objects believed to have magical or mythical origins. Fact. Collectors often displayed objects believed to be unicorn horns, dragon bones, mermaid remains. Of course, most of these were misunderstandings. Unicorn horns were actually narwhal tusks. Dragon bones were often dinosaur fossils, and mermaid remains were frequently crafted hoaxes. But in the 1500s and 1600s, science hadn't explained these mysteries yet, so collectors proudly displayed them as evidence of legendary creatures. Question 4. Only kings and royal families owned Cabinets of Curiosities. Fiction. While kings and nobles certainly had impressive collections, they weren't the only collectors. Cabinets of Curiosities were also assembled by scientists, explorers, physicians, wealthy merchants, scholars. These collectors often gathered objects from expanding global trade routes. The age of exploration flooded Europe with strange objects from Africa, Asia, and the Americas. So Cabinets of Curiosities weren't just royal showpieces. They were early centers of knowledge and discovery. Question 5. Cabinets of Curiosities often mixed natural objects and human-made artifacts together. Fact. Unlike modern museums, which separate categories, Cabinets of Curiosities mixed everything together. You might see a dinosaur fossil, ancient coins, taxidermy animals, sculptures, scientific instruments, all displayed side by side. Collectors classified objects into 4 main groups: naturalia, natural specimens; artificialia, human-made artifacts; exotica, objects from distant lands; scientifica, scientific instruments. But in practice, everything was displayed to create maximum wonder. You're halfway through. How many have you gotten right so far? If you're at 5 out of 5, impressive. Most people miss at least 2 by now. Let's see how you finish. Question 6. At least one Cabinet of Curiosities was discovered intact after being untouched for over 300 years. Fiction. While some historical collections survived for centuries, none have been discovered completely untouched for 300 years. Most cabinets of curiosities were eventually reorganized, absorbed into museums, sold at auction, lost to time. However, many objects from those collections still exist today inside major museums and universities. So the collection survived, just not frozen in time. Question 7. Cabinets of curiosities were sometimes called wonder rooms or rooms of wonders. Fact. In German, cabinets of curiosities were called Wunderkammern. That translates to chambers of wonder. The goal was to amaze visitors by displaying the most unusual objects imaginable. These rooms were meant to showcase the entire known universe in miniature. Natural history, art, science, and mythology all blended together into a single spectacular display. Question 8. Cabinets of curiosities were sometimes compared to circuses or freak shows. Fiction. Although cabinets of curiosities displayed strange and unusual objects, they were not considered entertainment spectacles like circuses. They were meant to be educational and intellectual spaces. Scholars studied the objects, scientists compared specimens, collectors debated their origins. In many ways, cabinets of curiosities were early forms of scientific laboratories and research collections. Question 9. Cabinets of curiosities were usually small, private collections and rarely open to the public. Fact. Most cabinets of curiosities were private collections. Visitors could only see them if they received an invitation from the collector. These guests were often scholars, diplomats, scientists, wealthy travelers. The idea of museums being open to the general public didn't become common until the 18th and 19th centuries. So early collectors controlled exactly who could enter their rooms of wonders. This is the final question, and it surprises most people. Cabinets of curiosities helped create the modern idea of collecting. Fact. Cabinets of curiosities changed the way people viewed objects. Instead of focusing only on practical use, collectors began valuing items for rarity, historical significance, beauty, uniqueness. This mindset eventually led to modern collecting markets for coins, fossils, antiques, art, rare artifacts. In many ways, the entire world of modern collectibles traces its origins back to these strange and fascinating rooms. So, what was your final score? Comment your result below. If you scored 8 or higher, you know your stuff. If not, now you're smarter than before. Like and subscribe for next week's challenge, because knowledge isn't about what you assume, it's about what you can prove. And here at Collectiblepedia, we explore the fascinating stories behind the world's greatest collectibles.